Hello everyone and welcome to episode 129 of the 10-minute modeling challenge. Is that way too loud or is it not loud enough? Hello, testing. It's been a while, hasn't it? Well, it was last week, but now I'm back again. Is it echoing in here? Why am I hungry? But it's been a while before we're getting things going now, but I'm happy to be back into the shape of things of making 10-minute modeling challenge videos. I've had a lot of questions to do it, link in my comments field, and a few even emails have trickled through like, where are you? Why haven't you made videos? But we're back now, we're going to make things happen. And if you are new to this channel and you haven't seen me before and you want to learn Blender, you've come to the right place because we do 10-minute modeling challenges here. And if you can do it in 10 minutes or not, it doesn't really matter. The challenge is that you create something that you want to do yourself and then try to just put a little time frame on yourself just to not scope creep and do something super crazy. I've seen some amazing sculpts now, but they take like a week. I'm talking to you, flat back hot rod, or can't even remember your full name, but flat back, flat rod stock. Anyway, you've created some really cool sculpts in the Discord. I'm impressed by those. And I don't think I can ever get to that level because my patience is about that long. So low poly is for me and I'll stick to that. But super cool that you guys are progressing beyond what I'm capable of doing. So we're doing low poly stuff here. And if you've missed previous episodes, you can always like pause this video, go back to my channel history 3-4 years ago and check out episode 1 of the 10-minute modeling challenge. That's how it all started. And then you can just watch all the 128 episodes and like come back in about, I don't know, 30 hours or something and then continue to watch this episode. Or just ignore what I just said and watch this episode instead. And let's just get started instead, shall we? All right, just one more thing before we get started, of course. It's not going to be a short intro because I never do. So I want my retention figures to just drop out of the... It's like a trapdoor for retention figures. My intros are like, but I'm doing this for you guys who are coming here to watch these videos. Even though my intros are super long and unnecessary, I'm doing these videos for you guys. So we can just hang out a little bit and, hey, let's forget about retention for a second and then just let's focus on the I don't know, useless info, I guess. But okay, anyway, so I've created a video game called Unfair Rampage Nightfall. And okay, what is that all about? Well, it's a super fast-paced platformer, and I've created it for a few reasons that I list in the video description. I released a trailer just the other day, super excited about it, and it's been a bit under the lid. That's why I've been pretty silent for the past few months, because it took about 7 weeks to create the game. It's a super fast-paced platformer, and everything was recorded. I recorded every single mouse click, every single line of code, every single piece of modeling, animation, even creating the soundtrack for it and doing the sound effects. Everything is compiled, and I've even recorded the vlogs. All right, even though I like the low poly trees, I had a recollection of a video called Fluffy Trees or something that I searched up, and I like that effect because you basically take a low poly tree and you turn the faces of the low poly tree into billboards that you can rotate and animate and use alpha cutout as an opacity mask. And you get a little bit more lush looking trees, with also you can add a Fresnel effect to make it look like it's backlit by the sun hitting it. So I thought it was worth spending the time to redesign the trees a little bit, and I'm happy that I did that. So I'm still going to use low poly trees, but I'll turn them into these little bit lush things. To summarize what I've done, what issues I ran into, and how I fixed them, and decisions that were made to make some changes, and what was fun about it, what was not so fun, what worked, what didn't work. And then I also had meetings with Rick from Game Dev TV.
Annoying.
Is it difficult?
It's difficult. I like that. I really do. I think if it was too easy, I think you would play and do like a 5 or 10 minute run through, and then you'd be like, I don't know, I guess, you play for a bit, you die. You play for a little bit, die. You play a little far. And then within the space of, 10 or 15 minutes, if you're new at it and not yet all that good, you've played 10 or 15 times. I think that's good.
I'm actually doing a course, a whole indie dev program with them, where I'm going to show how the game was made, but also teaching everyone as much as I can about coming up with an idea all the way to building a prototype, testing it out, refining it, turning it into a full game, polishing the game, adding a UI, all the states, Steam achievements, leaderboards, everything like that. Promoting the game, putting it on Steam, releasing the build through there, implementing Steam achievements, doing controller support. Everything is covered all the way to the point of releasing the game and hopefully making a few dollars in the process. That's what it's all about. I want to help indie developers take the whole journey, and you could participate in this program once it's released and keep it at your own pace. Just do it like, well, if you could squeeze it into like a few weeks, do it that way. If you want to span it across multiple years and just like have some guidance of creating your whole game and how to, like, what stepping stones you need to take. And why do you take stepping stones? You don't do that. You follow the steps. That's what you do. So you could do that over like half a year or a year and come back to it and just like, what did he do here? Why is my game not fun? What can I do about that? Can I tweak this? Why should I scrap it if it's not fun? Should I modify it? Should I start over? Okay, so, and why is marketing important? Like, why does my visual appearance of my game matter? Well, it's because it's going to go on your key art on Steam. And if that's not pretty, people are not going to find your game. And so how are they going to be able to play the game if they don't find it? And what about Steam achievements? Are they important to have in the game at all? What about player controls? Should you be able to remap the keys? Does that matter? Do you have to teach the players how to play the game? Do you have a tutorial? Do you need that? Should I make a multiplayer game? Should I make a single player game? Should I make both type of games? Well, there's a whole bunch of these questions, and it's going to be a pretty big program. So it's not really a course, it's a program. And I'm really excited about it, but it's still in the works. It's going to take me a few months still to work out all the details. And but once the time is ready, keep your eyes open, because I'm going to be pushing a little bit for that program. It's a dream thing of mine. I really want to help you guys create games and just share as much knowledge as I can from the past 20 years of doing this sort of stuff. And I'm going to pack it all into the course, and hopefully, you know, this is what I want to do. I want to help you guys make games. I want to make games myself. I want to have a fun time and share all the success and failures. And that's what it's all about. So this is going to be what I'm focusing on at the moment. But I'm also doing, like, I want to make some money on the game too. So I'm a dreamer just like anyone. So I'm trying to create the game to actually make a profit out of it as well. No surprise there. So it's all about like trying to learn what works, what doesn't work, and helping you all in the process as well. Because making games is fun, and it should be fun. And if we could make money doing something we enjoy, hey, that's super cool, isn't it? All right, so that was a long story. But what am I going to do now? Well, just first of all, wishlist that game if you don't mind. That'd be kind of cool on Steam. Just go to the Steam page, link is in the description, hit that little wishlist button, because then I can show how much important wishlists are when you create a game. You need to build some information, some hype, some interest about the game, and the wishlists will help you at launch day. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and everyone will not have the same advantage as me of having a YouTube channel to be able to promote it. So I'm going to be helping them finding alternative ways how to get wishlist ads. But you should use any means that you can. And I mean, I could say the same thing. There are YouTubers with 1 million subs, 2 million subs, 5 million subs. And well, they have an advantage over me. So like, we're all at different stages, but the whole idea is to customize the program and like teach you what you can do and what you have at your disposal, so you can make hopefully a successful game at the end. And I started this 20 years ago, so I'm like pretty far into the journey. But it's still pretty tough and a challenge, and just getting people to care about a game or be interested when there are so many other games out there to play, it's pretty tricky. So we'll have to test every avenue there is. Anyway, how long are these intros anyway? Way too long. But let's get started. So last week, which was episode 128, the first one I've done in like 6 months or something, 5 months. Has it been that long? I think so. Yeah. So I created a little knight character. Well, it wasn't really a knight. It was like he's got like hardly any armor. He had some shoulder pads. He had a helmet with horns for some stupid reason. And I mean, we talked about that in the Discord. It's like a Hollywood thing, I think, to put like horns on Viking helmets. So why have I stuck it on a stupid knight? I don't know. Well, it's because I did it in my game, and I thought it looked a little bit interesting because it was boring without them. So I incorrectly made a little character that I called a knight. Maybe it's more like a barbarian / Viking / weirdo, low poly thing in it. Anyway, so I've actually just kept that little character that I made with his sword and with his shield and his helmet with the stupid horns. I've put that just in my scene. So we're going to start from that today. We're not going to start from blank. But basically, I'm not going to be touching it. It's just to have a reference when I do some modeling, because we're making some dungeon assets. Why are we doing that? Well, first of all, I want to be able to teach stuff about how to make game assets. It's all about having fun, creating like stuff that could be used in games, whether it's your own games or you want to do assets for another game. And here's a little bit of a challenge, because when you create a dungeon, you could model a whole dungeon, that would work, and then drag it into a game engine and then put a collider on it, and everything is just like one big background image, not interactable or anything, not really flexible either. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create modular segments that can be used to either manually create a dungeon or hopefully create a little algorithm that picks those assets out and then just assembles dungeons for you. So there are a few things we need to take in consideration here. We need to create the assets themselves, they need to be snappable in a grid, and they should have a naming convention as well to make sense. So when the algorithm is picking assets out of the database, it needs to be able to know what's a floor, what's a wall, what's a doorway, what's an end cap, what's a corner, what's an inner corner, what's an outer corner. So maybe it's not going to be a visual, exciting episode today. Sorry, see you if you're leaving right now because you heard that. But maybe it's a useful one. Maybe you can learn a few things anyway in this process. Maybe you can pick up a few things about naming, why that's important, or how to make modular objects. And I'm saying all this without even knowing if I'm going to succeed. So I think the first things first now, I'm going to create the core assets in the 10 minutes, just like what's needed at a bare minimum. I'm not going to make a bear joke again because they're terrible. It's not even a joke. But anyway, a joke. Flight joke. No, never mind. So I'm going to be making the modular assets, naming them, and then in the bonus time this week, which is probably going to be quite a bit, I'm going to make some alterations of those, because you can use those templates that we create in the 10 minutes to use that as a framework and template to create all the other stuff. And not done here with the intro just yet, so bear with me. Okay. Why were we doing Dungeon Engine? Well, it's because last episode I had a premiere on episode 128, and when you do premieres, people are usually asking, is this a live episode? Is it? And everyone in the chat gracefully helps me saying, no, it's a premiere. He's actually typing, he's hanging out here with us in the chat. This was pre-recorded a few hours earlier, but Infencia is hanging out in the chat, and so I'm not typing at the same time, and this is not live. And that's how we can hang out. So we do premieres together, and it's a core crew of the usual suspects, been with me for years. Super appreciating you guys hanging out here, because you could be doing a lot of other stuff, but you're coming to this premiere, hanging out. That's super cool. I'm very happy. So you know who you are, and I know who you are. So thank you so much. I'm not good with names, but I still recognize most of you. So, well, to make the story that was pretty short, make it even longer. Well, last week I was supposed to attend the premiere, but I'm still sticking to my European schedule, and European, I'm not being, that's, okay, scrap that as well. Okay, so, European, not, okay, stop it, get some help, okay, breathe. I should probably cut this, I should edit this, because I'm gonna really scare the retention figures. YouTube are gonna be looking at the algorithm going, what is going on? We've got some serious failure going on here. I'm breaking all the rules. Okay, so what happened last week? I was supposed to attend the premiere on the European schedule. European schedule, but that means it's super early in the morning here. It's about 6 a.m. Well, it used to be 3 a.m., but I pushed it forward a little bit. So I set my alarm clock for 6 a.m. in the morning, which is not super early anyway, but it's kind of early for me. And I overslept, even though I put 2 alarms. So I overslept my own premiere, but I actually woke up 15 minutes into it. And luckily enough, because of these long intros, I had just barely started modeling by the time 15 minutes had passed. So I actually got out of bed and got here, and we were laughing about it. So what does that have to do with dungeons? Well, it's because after that one, I hung out a little bit in the Discord. And people have been saying for years, this should be an Infancia Discord community project about making a game. And there's always been stuff going on in the Discord. And thanks to Arvid and some of the other people, but especially Arvid, there's actually a Discord, Infancia Discord weekly modeling challenge that's been going on for a long time now. There's a new theme every week where everyone gets together who wants to, and they model something along those lines with that theme. And I'm I'm a criminal in a sense, because every now and then I'll go in, I'll guest act a little bit and create a few assets, and then I'll fade out and I'll do my other stuff all over the place, creating YouTube videos, freelancing, doing my games, or teaching college students how to model. So I'm like absent, away, without leave. And then I come back a few months later and you go, whoa, okay, so this is still going, super cool, and the community is thriving there. And on my X feed every now and then I see like, oh, I participated in the Infancia Modeling Challenge and this is what I made. Super cool, and people are sharing it there and getting ideas, teaching each other, learning from everyone. So there's a massive database being built up there right now in the weekly modeling challenge. So super cool. If you want to just join the community, go to the Infancia Discord server in the description and then hang out there and join that modeling challenge. And thanks again for keeping that going, everyone. Super cool. And just rambling on again now, because how does that have to do with the dungeon? Well, it's because in the community, there's been a quest to do, like, should we make a community game? And this is a super dangerous thing to do, because trying to organize something, especially with my like lack of time, it's very difficult. So I'm not going to be able to organize this, but we've created a brainstorming channel in the Discord. So anyone who's interested, let's just formulate a few ideas about creating a community game. And what is it going to be about? Well, we had some brainstorming discussions last week, and since I'm like oversleeping my own premieres and no one knows where I am half the time, it could be a little bit funny to tie it together with the Infancia Discord community and what's going on and the history of this channel. So it's basically going to be, the idea is that it's like a dungeon crawler game with randomized dungeons that's created, and people can join this little quest. So you have little characters, you navigate the dungeons and fight off little enemies, and you meet some bosses, and the goal is to try to find the dungeon room where Infancia, me, is sleeping, oversleeping my premiere, and I'm in dream world, so these dungeons will be like dreamlike, weirdo, anything goes. And that's what's pretty good about the whole idea, is like it's a dreamland. So any asset that people are making, whether it's walls, castles, floors, bookshelves, tables, I don't know, cars, catapults, like mushrooms, tower tops. What's a tower top? I don't know. Telephone poles. The whole point is that it's a dream world, so every dungeon could be themed like a different thing. It could be like historic, futuristic, toy stuff, I don't know, marshmallows, ghosts, zombies, like all sorts of, because a dream is weird that way, isn't it? Like you go somewhere and it's like you take a step through into another place and it's like totally different. You're in a different continent or in space or something under a bubbling sea of, I don't know, goo, who knows. So that's a cool thing. Anything goes in this dream world. It's a bit like playing on the history of this channel as well. Like sometimes I just go AWOL, and then you guys have to find me and go ping, even get people in Discord saying like, hey, where are you? So I guess they've succeeded to find me. So again, this is just like ideas. We're not committing to making this game. We're just like throwing some ideas around. And if people want to join in and create assets for it, that's fine. If they're not going to be used, well, the assets could be used for anything else. The game in the end would be free in that case if one ever was made. And it's just like a community thing, fun thing. It could be going on for years, who knows? It could be nothing in the end, but then there's a whole bunch of assets that people have learned from in the process. And if someone want to grab those assets and turn it into a game, maybe it's in Unity, Godot, or Unreal Engine or whatever, it's like it's there to be used. So what I'm going to do today is like, because I've done some crisply characters in the past, which is like this asset pack with little characters, and I usually stick to like a cartoony size character, and usually I make them that high. That's a lie, because it's 1.7 meters, but like, I don't know. So 1.7 meters high, because then they fit under a roof that's 2 meters tall. So I'm going to be making some dungeon assets right now, and it's going to be floors, walls, maybe doors and some windows and some corners and a ground. And then that's going to act as the template. Maybe that will change in the future as well, but here's the first idea anyway. So we're going to make some modular dungeon assets right now and then modify them. So with that said, short little intro there. Thanks for staying. If you're still here, you could grab yourself a coffee right now, or a can of Coke, or a beer, or whatever fancies your tickle, and then we'll start tickles your fancy. I don't know. I'm not that good with sayings. So now we're going to get started. Now I'm going to be making these dungeon assets. So head over to the Infancia Discord as well if you haven't been there. It's a pretty cool place. And thanks for everyone who's hanging out there, because you guys are cool too. Ready? Steady? Go. And rough. Yoo! Shift Q. What's that? Shift A. Cube. And let's see. Snapping should be increment. Hold the control key. Snap it down to there. Tab into... Well, first we're going to switch the material. Go here, Infancia Pixpal, tab into edit mode, H select everything. On the left side, H select everything, S to scale down to 0, G, and then move it back here. And this is going to be our template. We're going to call it G template for template there. So that's our first object. Woo! Already done. 30 seconds. Okay, so now we're going to do wall. So I'm going to do Shift D to duplicate it, hold the control key to snap it here. I'm going to use this just as a little helper. So I'm going to tab into edit mode, Control R. Here, maybe we'll do it about that thick. And then I'm going to do Shift-D to duplicate this face, E to extrude it, press 1 on the keyboard because I want to go 1 meter. Now I'm going to press L on the linked here and delete all of this because I just want the wall there. And this is going to be our F2. We're going to call it W for wall, ST for straight, and TMP for template. Now we're going to do corners, so we'll do Shift-D to duplicate this one. This is going to be an outer corner, so because the center of the object is here. So how do we do that? Well, we can do Shift-D to duplicate it again, top view, rotate, hold the Control key and rotate it to there. And I just want to use these as little helpers, Control R to grab that one. And I'm going to switch this one now to vertex. Because now when I slide it on here and I hold the Control key, I can snap it to this axis so I know it's going to be the right size. Actually, do you know what I could do? I can just skip that altogether. Let's do this instead. Hold the Control key and snap that one to there. Because then I can get rid of this one. And there's our outer corner. So it's going to be W outer corner, TMP for template. And so that's it. And now we're going to do an inner corner. So I'm going to do Shift-D to duplicate it. Bring this back to increment and Control key over here. And then I'm going to do Shift-D to duplicate it, top view, R to rotate, hold the Control key. I could have typed in 90 as well, but I want to do that. And now I'm just going to grab this one. Actually, here we have to, I could do a bowline, but I don't really like that because it messes up the topology that I usually mess up on my own. So what do we do instead? I'm going to grab that one and go to vertex, hold the Control key and snap it to there. So we know, actually, do you know what I'm doing? I'm going to do a little gap there. Shift select both of these, Control J to join them into the one mesh, Control R to get a loop cut here, hold the Control key with a Control R so I can snap it in the right place, and now I can shift select these two and go bridge faces, and that connects it. And here's another trick. Actually, I want to get rid of these ones because they're unnecessary. Alt Shift select all around there, X, and then dissolve edges, and that's how you can get rid of edges. F2, and this one is going to be wall, inner corner, TMP for template. All right, so we're gonna do, and here's our ground one. Let's just do Shift-D to duplicate, and now it's not snapping the right way, so I'm gonna bring it back to increment. I should map a hotkey for that, and then let's just call this one D for dirt, TMP, and then tab into edit mode, and 8 select everything on the left, and G, and let's just bring it into like a brown color here, just so we can see what we're doing. There we go. How are we doing for time? 6:45 is gone. So we're going to do a gateway now, and these are going to be modular so they can snap. So I'll do here, increment is right, hold the Control keys, we'll slide it back on the x-axis maybe to there. And here's going to be a gateway, so I'm going to do maybe just Control R and do 2 loop cuts with the mouse wheel there, scale x-axis maybe like this. Alt select on this edge, select around it, delete, and then just delete those faces. And then we'll do Alt Shift select there, F to cap that one, Alt Shift select there and cap that one. So this is going to be just our little portal template, and we're going to be bringing these into some cool textures later on. I think this is actually all the main things that we need. So what we could do is some floor options as well. So we got half time is done. So this looks a bit unimpressive, but they're all snapping pretty nicely. So I'm going to do Shift select there, and now let's just Shift-D to duplicate this face, press L on the bottom. That's just a fancy way of getting rid of some extra geometry there. And now I'm going to go to top view with the keypad 7 or numpad. And then we're just going to do, I'm just going to make so it fits like little rocks here, we'll do. So Control R, or maybe, yeah, G, and Control R, G, Control R, G. So that's our first stone. Alt select the linked. I'm just going to do X now and dissolve edges. Okay, now I'm going to do limited dissolve. There we go. Because I just want this one. And we should make, this is going to be stone, so we might as well just recolor them straight away. G to move it down to rock here, maybe like there. And now I'm going to fit within this little frame here. I sort of know where it is, so I'm going to rotate that one. Shift-D to duplicate that one. We'll just try to make it fit in this like virtual little frame here. So a bunch of those there, and then tab into edit mode, 1 on the keypad to get into vertex select, and one can just shape these a little bit different. We can have about the same amount of vertices, so just saves us some time. Maybe some, like if you want to add a vertex, Control R, you can do that because it's an n-gon, so it actually just adds a little vert there and there. So that could be our little stone formation. And so it's going to be a decoration. We'll do F2 on this one and call that one G for ground, or F for floor maybe. and TMP, and then, or actually this one could be rocks. I don't know. We'll have to figure out the naming straight. So that's G, that's dirt, ground. So F for floor, yeah, whatever. Tab into edit mode on this one. A to select everything, E to just extrude it up a little bit like this, and then we could just add some detail. Maybe we'll do Control Shift B on a vert there to get a little edge wear, and don't have time to do too much of this. Control B here, GG, GG, and GG, slide this one. And you could, I don't have really the time to do this, so let's just not do it. Let's just do one more, Control B, so you understand the concept. GG, GG, and top view, G, slide that one in for some bigger edge wear. Maybe we can just slide these a little bit like this as well. Not to be so picky. Edge wear everywhere, just some slants. There we go. And then I could do Shift G to select similar based on area, and then increase the value a bit. That selects a lot of those edges. We'll shift select that one, that one, that one too. And then G, we'll just move this one onto a brighter color like that. That could get some edge wear there. And 3 for the, let's do another floor. Should we do like another type of floor that we can just use? So I'll do Shift E to duplicate this one, hold the Control key to snap it here. Do the same thing here. We'll do Shift E to duplicate that face just so we have it. Alt select the linked, delete vertices. Control R, I'm just gonna do like some planks here. Maybe we'll just do 4 planks. Should that be enough? Yeah, that should be enough. And let's see, there should probably be an easier way to do this, but we'll do Control R. I'm just gonna do this. I could have done it differently, but let's just do it this way. Delete faces, and then top view on the keypad there, 7, Control R, Control R, Control R. Okay, Control R and Control R. There we go. And then I'm just going to make these a little bit. And I'm doing from the orthographic top view now, so I know I'm just operating in one direction on these. And I'm not going to try to just get so it looks a little bit. Control R on this one again. There. Control R. Just get a little bit different planks. Don't be afraid of the not. I can scale this as well because it's only on 2 planes now. And I could even rotate them like this. Control R, rotate, and scale, because it's only operating in X and Y at the moment. So there we go. And then we'll do, let's see, I'll extrude these. I'm going to make these a little bit darker. And don't be afraid to not have straight angles all the time. I think that's a common mistake. Just do everything super linear and like perfect snapping all the time. So we can do 126. So here's our planks. And just to get, I mean, you could just leave them like that, but I'm gonna do them a little bit different. Let's go for a darker color on them, like that maybe. Too dark? Yeah, well, whatever. And to get some, since we're not texture mapping, we can just make these planks look a little bit more interesting through like the knife tool. So on the top surface here, I'm just gonna do K, and then here's a, like we're not caring about engons at the moment, we just wanna add some detail. We're not gonna distort these or anything. We're only gonna add some like look to them, so it doesn't matter if it's engons, don't worry about it. We're not gonna subdivide these things, we're not gonna turn it into like an animated mesh, so the topology does not matter at this point. It's all gonna be turned into triangles by the game engine anyway, so just do a few of these slices to get some wood texture. There we go, and here we go. Have I forgot something? No, I think we've got all the main elements of. I mean, you can also add different types of templates later on, but I think these should snap nicely together. We'll do a little test. 13 seconds to go. Enter. So just gotta colorize these. 6 seconds, and G, and make them darker to there. That's it. There we go. Woo! So that's our little planks, and this does not look so impressive, does it? If this one was F rocks, we'll do F for floor wood here. And I think these are named pretty good. And what we'll do now, I'm going to save this one first of all, Control S. And now we're going to test it out to see if it works, the tileability. Because I think this is pretty similar to how you do like tiles for a 2D tile game. you do these corners and straight edges, and then you have like an engine like tiled or something to assemble them together. But we're going to do just a concept with the dungeon here. So if I press 7 on the numpad and go to top view, I can pick one of the assets here and then make sure that I'm on increment here. Yeah, that's it. Shift D to duplicate this one, and we'll just move it up to here. And we're going to do a dungeon here that's about 3 by 3. So Shift D, and I hold the control key just to snap it into place. And now we're going to move the walls, and I've created these walls so I can use them. Remember, this is the next tile from this floor over here. So I'll put a wall here, Shift D to duplicate that one, hold the control key to snap it to here, Shift D to duplicate it, and then R for rotate, hold the control key so I can snap them, and with the rotation as well, Shift D to duplicate it and move it up to here, Shift D to duplicate over here, rotate, hold the control key, snap it to there, Shift D, move it down there, and then we'll do Shift D, move it to here, rotate, hold the control key, Shift D, and Shift D to duplicate it again. And now we need just the outer corners here, so we'll do that one, Shift D to duplicate, here's the outer corner, Shift D to duplicate, and remember, this won't line up unless you rotate it as well here. Hold the control key all the time, Shift D to duplicate, R to rotate, hold the control key, Shift D to duplicate, hold the control key, R to rotate and hold the control key. And this works because I'm in orthographic top view, 7 on the numpad. 7. Then we'll put some dirt outside here, Viva la dirt, and Shift D to duplicate that one, Shift D to duplicate it, and I just hold the control key to snap them, and we should actually just decorate. So I'm just Shift D to duplicating all of these around. Shift D, hold the control key to snap it neatly according to the increment. There we go. And now theoretically we should be able to also place these stones. So Shift D to duplicate, Shift D to duplicate. We can rotate this one, hold the control key, Shift D to, but these go anyway. Whoop. Shift D to duplicate there. And that seems to work. I think the dirt is too bright, so that's a bit annoying. Can make it darker. But anyway, the concept works, and let's see. We should also try maybe the wood here. So Shift it, because you could line the inner floor here now and rotate these as well. Rotate something like that. That would work. And now when we've got these, I'm going to save this one. So the test dungeon here works. We can also test, like, why did we do this inner wall here? So if we delete maybe these, I'll delete that one as well, and this one, Shift D to duplicate, Shift D to duplicate, delete that one, Shift D to duplicate. We can try an inner wall here as well. So rotate there. Let's see, how do I do the inner wall now? Here, we want this one. Hold the control key, and then Shift D to duplicate, rotate, Shift D to duplicate, hold the control key, rotate, hold the control key, snap it to there. So you could make variations of it like this. And then what about these gateways? You could also do Shift D to duplicate these, and they'll snap into there just to narrow it. And it'll probably make more sense when we actually add some variants of those. So we should try that. And you can, I guess you could also fit like walls here now. So I have to put it there. Let's see. There. Rotate. Snap it. Yeah. And then delete. And you could place the wall probably without. You could have like if you down, let's move this one down. Hold the control key, snap. You could have like falling things. So if you have another layer, and we could do some stairs and stuff later on as well. But that seems to work. So those are the main templates that you need. All like these, just few, and these are just different colors. If we do this one now, and we'll do Shift D to duplicate it, snap it over here. I hold the control key, so it doesn't really matter where they are, because I can also Alt G to snap them back into Origo here, or Origin, or Origo, whatever it's called. So we'll make an alteration of this one now, or a variation. If I press the Delete key on the numpad, actually center around this object. And now I'm just going to add some detail to it. So Control R. We're going to keep like a low poly aesthetic. So I'll just put there G to move it a little bit don't be afraid of not doing everything like perfectly linear. You can have like some different twists and angles on it. Maybe Control T to triangulate that on, move this one up, and then I'll do Shift D to duplicate. It doesn't have to be part of the same mesh either. You can do E to extrude. There's like a broken off like little rock at the bottom you could do, like this. Make it look a little bit. I think another common thing is that I see a lot of people are like trying to extrude everything out of the same object. But I think it's perfectly fine to just like Shift D to duplicate the face, scale it, and move it so it's like a separate little object. You have less mesh that way. Control B to bevel that on. Let's do Control Shift B on this vert to slide that onto there. Get a little flat surface there. We could do maybe a crack here. So I'll do, how should I do that? K, because again, I'm not worried about n-gons at the moment, with it being just not going to be animated or anything. I to inset, Alt S to scale it. And then this one we could just shift to a darker color on the left here on the UVs to there. And you could do some edge wear as well. So I'll do select that, Control B, GG, GG, GG. And if you want, you could actually merge these, M, merge at center, change these to a brighter color. That gives you a bit of edge wear there. Maybe extrude this one, G and G. Could put little rocks like in between as well. Maybe this one has like the capstone on still, but the other one doesn't have that anymore. So G, Control R, G. This one's like broken off a little bit. That n-gon is ugly though, because it's got some, so Control T, I'll triangulate that one. Some angles, if you twist an n-gon, it'll not be good. The n-gons are only good if they're flat, or pretty flat anyway. So there we go. That could be like a portal. So this one could be, let's see, what did I didn't name this one properly. Wall, or this one's going to be wall portal, I think. Rock. Let's see, what do we need? That one's rocks, or like this one, TMP. So portal TMP. No, gateway maybe. Gateway. But we have ground, so wall, gateway, TMP. And then here's wall, gateway, and then we'll call this one ruins 01, because maybe we want different like versions of this rune as well. And then we could do the same with the wall here. I'll do Shift D to duplicate this one, snap it to over here, and maybe we'll do a more interesting wall here. So we'll do Control R, Control R. And again, we can keep it pretty simple because I like the low poly look anyway. So we'll just do like that. We'll do Control R again. Maybe move this one in a bit. It doesn't have to necessarily snap 100% either. It could be, oh yeah, it does actually, because these are going to snap together like perfectly with other walls. So probably stick to that one. But we can have some freedom on the shape of it like this. So we'll do, move this one in a bit. Maybe we'll do Control B on this one, GG, GG. Move this up, and should we do like, I don't know, we could put some nearly like stones in it. So I'll do that face and Shift D to duplicate it to, I don't know, there. E to extrude it, L to select the linked, G to move it, and then we'll just do top view, Shift D to duplicate that on, and Shift D to duplicate again. I have no idea if this is going to work. And then we'll do Shift D to duplicate, rotate, have it stick out there a bit. And that Alt Z actually shows through the geometry. I just wanted to grab that one. L, select the link to move it into there. And Shift D to duplicate that on, rotate it, even though I don't see it, to there. And then maybe we can just change the shape so they're not all the same. G. Could do O for proportional as well and change a few of them. And I've got linked, unlinked. So if I do Alt O, it'll actually pick vertices that are like pretty close as well. So we could do something like that maybe. And we could change the color of these to something brighter. yeah, I mean, not the prettiest of things, but Control Shift B you have to do if you want to do the vert beveling. Control B doesn't work. It works on edges, but not on single verts. And then I'll select a vert, GG to slide it. GG. I've got proportional now, but GG. And then should we make these a slightly different color? Let's just stick out a bit. And then we could do maybe on the other side as well. Shift E to duplicate. Okay, proportional off. Rotate. You probably won't see both sides at the same time anyway, but we'll jumble it up a little bit anyway. Scale, rotate, Alt select the linked, G, Alt select the linked, G down to here. Rotate. I have no idea if that, but that could be a wall. And let's see, the corners we could do. If we do this one, Shift D to duplicate it. Well, we should name this one as well. So wall, straight, rocks. 0, 1, and then this one is outer corner, so we'll do rocks 0, 1, and we'll do tab into edit mode. This one we can be a bit more creative as well. I can Shift E to duplicate that on scale it, E to extrude it, and then we'll do Alt select the link, Shift E to duplicate it, and put it at the floor. I'm not too worried if it goes slightly under either, because when we build the levels, it's going to be some, as long as it's not hovering in the air, it can go through the ground a little bit. That doesn't matter. Control R, we can probably rotate Z, Control R, and then just shift this up a bit. Control B to bevel that on. Control B to bevel that corner. Alt Z to see through. Get that vertex maybe down there. Move it in. And G to move that on. G, and then that could be like a corner post. Maybe we'll do slightly different colors on the capstones, or whatever they're called, a bit darker. There we go. So if we try this one again now, and this time I think, the inner corner I need to do as well. Shift D to duplicate, and we'll do, and then rocks 0, 1. What did I call this one? Rocks. Oh, ruins. Ruins. And ruins. And ruins 0, 1. Top view, and then we'll just do something similar here. We'll do Control R. This one as well, we have a little bit more creative freedom because it's not going to snap on, it only snaps here and here. So this corner we could do a little bit different, but I probably want to integrate similar capstones here. So I'll do Alt select the linked, Shift D to duplicate it, move it to here, P to separate it, selection. Select that one, Shift select this one, and Control J to join it into this one. And then Shift E to duplicate it down to here. Rotate Z and G to move it. Again, doesn't need to be perfect. It's nearly better if it's not perfect. That's what I always say. That's what my wife says about me. It's better if you're not perfect. Actually, she says, because you're perfect, aren't you? All the time. So I guess in some rare cases, you can be perfect. I'm living proof. Maybe you could be too. I'm only joking, of course. I'm not. Everyone's perfect. How about that? Inclusive comment, isn't it? Everyone's perfect. We like you. Or not. I don't know. Let's just... that's pretty cool. Anyhow, we could do... Okay, we want to grab like one of these as well. Shift D to duplicate it. Move it over here. P, separate, selection. Tab out of edit mode, select it. Shift select this one, Control J, and we've joined it into here. And G to move that on. Alt select the link. Shift D to duplicate, rotate. Makes no sense, this stuff, but it's alright. Shift D to duplicate. That sticks out a lot, doesn't it? Shift D to duplicate. Shift D to duplicate. We'll keep it on that side. And then L, G, rotate. I think when you use these type of assets now, and especially since we're not texture mapping, it'll create interesting shadows in a game engine. So I've said it before, and I'll say it again. A common thing that I see is that a lot of people make super straight assets. Everything's like perfect all the time. So if you have a stone wall, it's like super flat, super flat. I've said that like a few times now. So I'd say don't be afraid to like really mix up your polygons a little bit. Don't keep them as straight. It's like here, for example, looks super uniform, so I'll just put GG to slide this vert, GG to slide that vert, GG to slide it, GG, and GG. And that makes it already a little bit more interesting. So that could be a little tip. And Control B, and then what do we do here? We'll do Control B here as well, why not? And GG, slide it, GG, and then colorize that a little bit brighter. There we go. So that could be our inner corner. What's happened here? I've broken this one. Oh no. Alt select link, Shift D to duplicate it. I messed up the UVs apparently. But that's okay. Rotate, G. Alright, so that could be our corners. We already wonkified these things. We've got all of these now. So now let's make a little one of this one instead. Control S. So I'll take that one. We'll do the same procedures last time. So here, but instead I'm going to do Alt D now, because it actually creates an instantiated copy of this one. So if I change this one, see here now, it actually changes that one as well. That's the difference with Shift D and Alt D. So we'll do down here, snap it to there, and then I nearly did Alt D, mark these, Alt D, hold the Control key, Alt D, okay, no, there, Alt D, hold the Control key, okay, Alt D, hold the Control key, Alt D, hold the Control key. Man, what am I doing wrong? Alt D, hold the Control key. And here we're gonna do Alt D, hold the Control key. Oh, I did Shift D again by mistake. Alt D, hold the Control key. Alt D, hold the Control key. I'm gonna do the same thing, but with these now instead. So now we're gonna grab this one, the outer wall, Alt D, hold the Control key, and we'll snap it down to there. Alt D, hold the Control key. So you're gonna be fed up with me saying this now. Alt D, hold the Control key. Rotate, hold the Control key. Shift D, hold the Control key. Shift D. Oh no, I'm doing the wrong thing again. We do Alt D, come on. Hold the Control key. Alt D, hold the Control key. Alt D, hold the Control key. Rotate, hold the Control key. But rotate, hold the Control key and do 90. Alt D, hold the Control key. Alt D. I did Shift D again. How stupid can you get? Alt D, hold the Control key. Rotate, hold the Control key. I wonder if I'm gonna forget someone. Alt D, hold the Control key. Alt D, hold the Control key. Rotate. Alt D, hold the Control key. Alt D, hold the Control key. Alt D, hold the Control key. Rotate, hold the Control key. Alt D, hold the Control key. And I actually, oh, you could do it this way as well, I guess. So here we're gonna actually do this slightly different. Alt D, hold the Control key. We'll put an outer corner here this time. Alt D, hold the Control key. Alt D, hold the Control key. Alt D, hold the Control key. Rotate, hold the Control key. Alt D, hold the Control key. Rotate, hold the Control key. And here I can't even see if I'm doing like 90 meters. There we go, at the top here you can see. Alt D, hold the Control key. Rotate, I could do 90 here as well. If I type it, it's faster, in a way. And now we need the portal as well, or the gateway, whatever I called it. Where did I put it? There. Alt D, hold the Control key. Alt D, hold the Control key. Here, rotate 180. Okay, rotate 180. Alt D, hold the Control key. Rotate 90 minus. And here we need a wall as well, and that's going to be an inner corner this time. Alt D, hold the Control key. No, it's not, because I got an outer corner there, so it'll be this one. Alt D, hold the Control key. There we go. So that portal gets a little bit tight maybe. And here we go. Alt D, hold the Control key. Rotate, hold the Control key. 180 degrees. So we've used the inner corner there now instead. So this one's slightly bigger now than this little dungeon there. And then we could also have internal walls. So Alt D, hold the Control key. So there. So that works pretty good, I think. And then if we do hold the Control key and snap these down now, I'm gonna do like a trap floor here instead. So we'll grab that on. Alt D, hold the Control key. Alt D, hold the Control key. Alt D. Oh no, this one. Yeah, Alt D, hold the Control key. Alt-D, 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 hold the control key. Alt-D. See, I remember it now. Hold the control key. And I can do Shift, select those. Alt-D, hold the control key. Alt-D, hold the control key. And Alt-D, hold the control key. Alt-D, hold the control key. Alt-D, hold the control key. And we'll grab all of these. Alt-D, hold the control key. And then the stones. Alt-D, hold the control key. Alt-D, shut up. Alt-D, hold the control key. Alt-D, hold the control key. Rotate. 180 or 90. Rotate, hold the control key. And then these I can just move away now, the templates. Hold the control key. Z. So. There's our... I wonder if I can... should I change this one? Rotate a bit. Maybe we'll pick a darker one. There we go. Ooh. So you can actually change the preview. I'm on preview material here. And if you go to this little drop down here, you can... where was I? I went to that drop down. Where did I go? Oh yeah, I switched it. Material preview. This drop down. I thought I was going stupid then. I'm already stupid. So rotate. You can rotate the light here, the preview one, and you can change it to different light, like HDR images. So maybe that one looks pretty cozy and neat. So this is just to preview it. This one as well, you could top view rotate 180 just to get it slightly different. And then I also probably would make some, because it's a bit too repetitive with the wood now. So I'd probably make alterations or alternative versions of these. So I'll do like Shift D to duplicate it. Shift D this time. And then I'll make like different variants of this. So maybe G, 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 and we could have proportional here. And if we're operating from top view, we could probably do this. G, 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 and then, I don't know, you'd probably want it like X dissolve, limited dissolve, no, X dissolve vertices. Take a few of those away. So you can make like variants of that one. So you'd have like a whole bunch of them. And then let's grab our character. Where did he go? Didn't we have a test character here? I must have hit him. So we've got a little test here. I actually have to enable so I can select. And then we'll do select those, Shift D to duplicate, snap. Oh, what happened then? Oh yeah, I can only move the armature because those ones are following along. And then hide the armature again. Why is this? Oh, because it's the copy. There we go. And let's try some different lights again. There. I wonder if I add a light. Can I add Shift A? Let's just add a test light, a point light. Okay, right click, Shift right click, and then Shift A, add, and a point light, G. Let's crank up the thing and then turn it to like a reddish color. And then we'll put a blue light over here maybe, just to test. That would work. Alright, so pretty simple polygons now, I'd say. But it starts to look, I think, in the game engine, as soon as you put some animations and you start to fill the world a little bit with assets, it could be good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this one. All you need it really are these simple like inner outer walls and the portal and some ideas for the floor. So I'll probably just save this one, Control S as it is now. And you can just go to the Discord server and grab like this template one. And you can experiment and just do different walls as well. You don't have to be the same thickness or height. You can make different heights, different towers. And then I'm probably going to specify like a naming scheme because it's pretty important, especially if we're getting an algorithm to assemble these things together. So we're going to have W for wall, G for ground, F for floor, G for gateway, for example. And then we'll figure out the inner outer corner stuff, the straight walls and decorations, grass and all that sort of stuff. We'll come up with a good naming scheme. We can always rename them later on, but if we name them with the correct prefix, like not only can we do it manually, it'll be easier for us to like, oh, I need an outer wall or in a corner or whatever we call it. But for an algorithm that looks in the collection. So if imagine we had like a ruins collection now of walls, corners, floors and stuff. and then we tell the algorithm, like, build a dungeon now. It's going to be like of this shape, and you're going to grab random assets and different variants now, because like we have 0, 1 here, for example. We want to increment that one and randomize it so we have some different stone formations, and it'll quickly look pretty cool, I think, and different. And the algorithm, if we can get that working, would help that sort it out. So I hope, even if this doesn't turn out into a community game in the end, it's actually a thing to just like have some focus around, and we can create assets and talk about game development when it comes to it. And if someone wants to grab the assets and make their own little game with it, that would be kind of cool too. And let's just treat it as a good learning experiment. Let's find out about modularized assets and what works and what doesn't. Categorization is a pretty tricky one to get right, so we'll probably have to do some trial and error there. But I think it could be cool in the end. What do you think? Oh yeah, one more thing actually. We could do, I haven't done it now, but we could actually just decorate this whole thing as well. Like, let's just say I'll Shift D to duplicate that off face. We'll just, and then delete to go in here, scale it, P, go into like a separate object here, call it D for decoration, and then just call it shelf or something. And we'll find a better name for all of that stuff. Where did it go? Alt Z. Wait, it's here somewhere. I moved it. Control Z. Give it back. There we go. We'll just move it into here now in edit mode, and grab that one, move it there, and E to extrude it. And then we'll just do I to inset, E to extrude, and Shift E to duplicate, move it in, E to extrude it, Alt select the linked, and then just change the color to like a wood color. And then when we do assets here that we can decorate like this dungeon with, again, I would not probably create assets that are so perfect like this, like super like straight. To make it a bit more interesting looking, I would take the verts and then just try to play it around, scale them up a bit. Even if it, like this might be a little bit too much, but you get the point. There we go, G. So it probably look a little bit more interesting pretty fast. And you could even Control R this one, Control R again, and then proportional G to move it, G to move that on, and then even the individual verts to make it a little bit, and then Control R, we could separate that on. And then you can also do some fake shading, like let's say we do the back faces here. If I just pick that one to be a darker color, it's nearly like creating an ambient occlusion effect, like inside there. So you could, and then we'll change the color a little bit of this one to there. So, and maybe for this whole thing, you'd go even darker anyway, because it's like interior. So, and then you could put, lots of ideas here, but, scale X. Let's put some like boxes in here. G, R. We're right by a light now, that's why probably. So L, let's go for a more gray there. Rotate, just put some weird stuff in here. Oh, there's so many objects that you could do. Decorative and like interactable objects as well. Chairs, benches, teleports. So this is just a dungeon world. You could do like futuristic stuff. That'd be so fun. I'm so tempted to do just loads of assets now that are tileable. That'd be fun. Dungeon. All right. There we go, guys. What time is it? I've been recording for like hours, it feels like. This could be a long one. Sorry about that. But anyway, I hope you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, if you found even the slightest bit of useful information here. Arvid, it's okay if you turn a thumbs down on this video, because you always do anyway. I know it's you, but it's okay. I'm living with it now, and I can deal with it. I'm grown up. I can handle the odd thumb down. Just click it twice to make sure it sticks. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to check out Unfair Rampage on Steam, link in the description. I'm super excited about that game. I actually like playing it myself, and that says a lot, because usually when I make little silly games, I don't like them because they're not fun, but this one is fun. I like it, and it's challenging as ever in the beginning, but when you start to master it and learn it, you're like, hey, I can get a little bit further. I can get a little bit further. Hey, I can even dash now. I can double jump and dash. I can hold the jump button to jump a little bit higher, and I can time my jumps. I can dodge all these enemies. I can dodge the bullets. I'm listening to the music while I do it. I'm feeling great, and then I get to the big evil boss, and he smacks me in the face with a big mace. And you hate it, but you have to start over again because you feel, I want to do it again. I want to do it again. and again until you beat the high score and you complete the whole level and you warp back to the beginning, but now with a faster moving destructive horizon, and you got beautiful autumn colors instead, or fall colors if you're in the US for that matter. With that one, let's just leave it like that, and I'll see you soon again in another video, and have a great one, and I'll see you then. Bye for now.